You are watching history here at Guaranteed Rate Field. The White Sox have 4 consecutive home runs. Yoan drills it. Way back right field. Look out, Goose. It's a 3-run shot. Another absolute blitzkrieg. And bring him home. 3 in a row. Tim's having a party. Eloy Jimenez to the line. And gone again. Smiles everywhere and tatters of baseballs all over. 4 straight home runs. Moncada, Grandal, Abreu, Jimenez. Record power. And that's why you always enjoy watching the game of baseball, because every day something new might happen right in front of your very eyes. And those 4 guys did it yesterday as the Sox got the finale against the Cardinals. And today, the Sox invite the Tigers into Guaranteed Rate Field. And in the AL Central, it is a very tight race at this point. The Sox still behind Cleveland for 2nd place. That's a guaranteed playoff spot this year, 1 and 2 in the division. Sox and Tigers, once again, we were just watching the Sox in Detroit, and now at Guaranteed Rate Field today, the series shifts. It's the left-hander Gio Gonzalez on the mound to face Matthew Boyd, a matchup we have seen already this year. Thanks for joining us. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. And look, those 4 home runs tying a major league record yesterday. 10 separate 4-man groups have done it. The Sox are in the record books, but Eloy Jimenez swinging it real well.
Pretty astonishing what happened yesterday. But today they see Matthew Boyd, a guy that they just massaged when they saw him in Detroit. In fact, Eloy Jimenez, the first time he saw him this year, he took him deep. It was part of 2. The first 2 hitters he faced both went yard. Eloy Jimenez last 5 games has been all everything. .421. He's hit 4 home runs. He's driven in 9. The OPS is just otherworldly. So the Sox hit Boyd very well. Hopefully more the same here tonight in the first of a 4-game series. And for the Sox, a big series it is.
The bullpen has been outstanding for the Sox. We will detail the relief corps when we come back.
Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. First Midwest Bank, helping you build momentum. You have plans. First Midwest Bank has ideas. Xfinity. Xfinity X5 delivers blazing fast Wi-Fi with no curveballs. And by Wintrust, home of White Sox checking. Visit wintrust.com/Sox to open today.
Guaranteed Rate Field, the site of game number 1 of an elongated 4-game set with the Detroit Tigers, and we thank you for rejoining us. The Sox bullpen has just been outstanding over the last couple of weeks and has really helped buoy this team back to 500, Steve.
Well, there's no doubt when Bummer went down, you worried about the bullpen, but as of late, nothing to worry about. They're in the top 10 of just about everything, and they've really picked up the slack. We take a look at the guys. They come out guy after guy and get the job done. As you can see, innings, they're 8th. Strikeouts, they're 5th. Opponent slugging, they're 6th. And home runs per 9 inning, also 6th. So things going very well in the pen. They've had to go well. And the back end with Colomé is terrific. Getting the ball to him is the job of Cordero and Marshall. And who knows, maybe one day Matt Foster will be one of those guys, because along with Detweiler, Foster and Detweiler have given up nothing.
Sox and Tigers game number 1 is on the way. How many more home runs will we see today? We'll find out together after a record-tying Sunday yesterday. Join us. Tigers have lost 5 straight dating back to then, and so the smiles have been less plentiful for Jacoby Jones and Detroit. Something's got to give, right? I mean, home field advantage in Major League Baseball this year has been relatively non-existent. Home teams are basically at about 500 as it stands right now. And then Eloy Jimenez with 3 home runs against Matthew Boyd. Stoney will break down why and how, and maybe have a prediction for us at some time during the course of this game. But a lot of home runs, including this one, Oppo at Comerica Park, as the Sox won 2 of 3. And we welcome you back to Guaranteed Rate Field, where the Sox try to win some home games. Tigers are the opponent today, and we tell you about our Four Seasons weather for the ball game, which looks like this. Oh yeah, great adjective from Chris Kamka today. Picturesque for the Chicago skyline.
Certainly is that, and it's gorgeous. 77 degrees, 50% humidity. The wind not much of a factor at all, but it's going to be very interesting evening because Matthew Boyd does throw the long ball. In fact, he's thrown 5 home runs in 19 1/3 innings. Might not be a great time to be facing this Sox lineup, as yesterday they busted out of it. And there you're looking at his mound opponent once again, Gio.
And the lineup he'll face, brought to you by Insure on the Spot. Get your free auto insurance quote in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. Jacoby Jones had a very nice offensive season. He leads off, then Willie Castro and Miguel Cabrera, Scope, Candelario, and Maben back off the injured list. Romine, Paredes, and Reyes.
There you look at Gio Gonzalez on for his 5th game, his 4th start. ERA a touch above 6.5. You look at the rest of the numbers. He's got to control the walks because he is going to give up the long ball, and when opponents are hitting .351, you can't put anybody on base ahead of them. For Roman, that's the key matchups. Austin Romine 2 for 2 when he saw him in Detroit with a home run. He's handled Cabrera well. Scope has done a pretty good job, but Scope is doing a nice job against a few people. He's hit 4 home runs this year as Ron Gardner looks on from the Tiger dugout.
The longtime Minnesota Twins skipper. Those Twins are leading the division. Sox in a pivotal series here. And a first pitch strike from Gio Gonzalez to Jacoby Jones, who has a double in 3 straight ball games, despite the Tigers losing 5 in a row. He's been an offensive power for Detroit.
This is an adjustment to the lineup. When we saw Jones in Detroit, he was hitting in the 9th spot. But because his team isn't scoring near as much as they started out doing, he's up at the top now.
Two balls and a strike on Jacoby Jones. Now 2-2 for Jones, and for Gio Gonzalez this year he's thrown more changeups than anything else you see. Jacoby Jones, the LSU product, with 2+ hits and 2+ driven in his major league debut August 30th of 2016, and that's fouled back to the net by Jones. So an early strong at bat of 5 pitches.
He's a very good player, a good center fielder with tremendous speed, and the Tigers knew that when he came over from Pittsburgh.
And a wave and a miss, strike 3. Good curveball from Gio Gonzalez, one gone.
He set him up with a fastball away. After a foul ball, he wiped him out with a good curve down and in. So a very promising way to start. Good rotation on this one. And he has Jones swinging over the top.
So Gio will face Willie Castro in just his 5th game of the year for the Tigers, who at 9 and 10 are 3.5 out. The Sox are 3 back at 11 and 11 as new series begin around Major League Baseball now. One ball, one strike.
Good straight change, and it's good to show them early that you can get that over the plate. Tigers know he's going to throw a good curveball. They know that the fastball is going to be around 92 or so, but now they have to defend against a straight change also.
For a strike on the inside corner of fastball, so Gio's mixing it pretty well early on.
So far everything looks very good. So let's see how he adjusts to the curveball here.
Check swing. Yes, he did. Strike 3. He did not adjust to that curveball, and Gio's got 2 strikeouts.
David Rackley on the call, and Castro looks like he moved his hands. Good biter again. He went too far. That barrel of the bat went out in front of the plate. Usually that's going to get you the call each and every time.
A bridge too far.
That's what it was. It's right there in the rule book.
Thanks for joining us. He is world-class button pusher Steve Stone. I am the pushy Jason Benetti. There's strike 1 on Miguel Cabrera. Started his career with the Marlins, has moved over to Detroit, and has some of the power back this year. Not back to his Marlin days, but we've seen some home run pop that we had not seen in pockets the last couple of years.
Right now he's at the point where he's expanding his strike zone, trying to do a little bit too much. The reason is his team is in a slump. Cabrera's hit 4 home runs. He's driving in runs this year, but hitting only 188. Look, he's got to drive in runs in the middle of this lineup, because if he doesn't drive them in, it becomes very tough for anybody else. UI Health, the defense tonight. Eloy, Luis, and Nomar in the outfield. Yohan, Tim, Danny, and Jose in the infield, with Yasmani Grandal behind the plate, and Gio Gonzalez on the hill, author of 2 strikeouts and 2 hitters. High fastball might get this done with Cabrera.
How high?
Higher than high, as they say.
How about a bouncing ball to third?
That's good enough.
All right, we'll take it. Moncada to first. And that is all she wrote. Farewell to the top of the first inning, and the Sox will bat when we come back. Our Insure on the Spot starting lineup. Get your free auto insurance quote in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. TA at the top, then Moncada and Grandal, Abreu, Jimenez, Encarnacion, Luis Robert 7, Nomar Mazara 8, and Danny Mendick 9.
There is Matthew Boyd. This year, a very tough start. ERA up over 10. 18 strikeouts in 19 1/3. That's good. The 30 hits is not. He is getting the ball over the plate, but when he does, it's been problematic. And the matchups. Tim has hurt him. Jose has hurt him. And Eloy, he's going to hurt him for a long time.
Well, that's ominous.
3 home runs out of his 4 hits. Start thinking about pitching around him when you get a chance.
For self-preservation purposes, as there is ball 1 to Tim Anderson. So last time we saw Boyd was on August the 12th. He threw 49 four-seam fastballs, 21 sliders, and 15 changeups. Only 4 curveballs. And here he's outside with a fastball at 2-0, and certainly not where you want to live on Tim Anderson.
These days, the stuff just isn't near as good to keep falling behind 2-0. That's a recipe for lots of earned runs.
In for a strike, 2-1 to TA, who bounced back after back-to-back offers, which he only had. I mean, this is a remarkable number. 6 times over the course of the full season last year did he go 0 for 2 games in a row, and that will win you a batting title very quickly.
Well, he's really figured out what the guys are trying to do to him, and now that he's ahead, he's going to see a fastball. Let's see if he puts it in play.
High fly ball center field. Jones back at the track, another home run. Yesterday was fun. How about some more? 1-0 Sox right out of the gate.
Matthew Boyd throws 3-1 or 2-0 pitches. He's going to get hammered. That one was up in the zone. It was a fastball at 3-1. Tim just got one up in the zone. A home run replay by Ford. High fastball, 1-0.
7th leadoff home run ever for Tim Anderson. And take a look, take a watch, take a gander. His first home leadoff home run comes while you're watching at home. Nobody would have caught it anyway. It was into the center field area, as this is a fly ball well struck. Right center. Did they do it again? Back to back. Yes, sir. 2 for the price of 1. Here we go again.
We told you that he had given up 5 home runs in 19 1/3. He started out in Detroit against our boys, throwing 2 home runs back to back. It was Anderson. It was Eloy. Tonight, it's Anderson. It's Moncada. The 4 home run replay. Another fastball. Another home run. 2-0 Sox.
All right. All right. Yeah, first pitch curveball is a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want to throw a fastball, as Yohan Moncada goes opposite way. Sox up a pair.
Grandal was involved yesterday, and he fouls it back. It was a high fastball, 0-2. So twice this year, leading off back-to-back home runs, 6th time now in Sox history. First time was back in the 30s, and everything else has been pretty recent.
Yeah, when we were in Detroit. Same pitcher, different guys, but same result.
Matthew Boyd might feel like Ned Ryerson's going to cost him about insurance soon on the street. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It won't be in the first inning to lead off 4 straight home runs, but on Wednesday, here they were.
That one pulled instead of straightaway center field, and that was a breaking ball, not a fastball. That was a high fastball. Sox up 2-0. Looks like one of your favorite movies. You're watching it again.
Any movie that's rewatchable, it's calming, right? It's the same thing. You know the script. It's a beautiful thing. Now we're going to start expecting a second home run after each home run.
It's not a bad thing.
So there you see, 6th time in franchise history to start the game with back-to-back home runs, and that's a happy group down there. James McCann, the former Tiger. Fouled away right-hand side, 2-1 on Abreu.
Boyd, who had a good year last year, was highly thought of. To this point, he absolutely cannot figure out what's happening.
They finally decide who's going to make the play, and the throw is awful wide of first base. Abreu speeds into second, and my goodness, a wobbly infield for the Tigers. Castro at shortstop misfired, and the Sox have a runner at second base.
Castro ranging to his left. The throw is off the mark, takes a high hop. Tough pick for Candelario. So in defense of Candelario, first of all, it wasn't a good throw, but also he's a third baseman and a good one. But when Cron went down, we saw that in our series. He's had to go over to first base, and it kind of weakened the defense at a couple different spots. As far as Castro is concerned, Nico Goodrum went down with a back issue yesterday, forcing Castro to play shortstop and Paredes to play third.
Inside ball 1 on Eloy Jimenez. We showed you the numbers against Boyd for Jimenez, so this isn't exactly an oasis for the left-hander.
However, when a guy is giving you a lot of problems, it's almost a self-defeating prophecy. You seem to fall behind him a lot.
Oh, Eloy wanted a fastball. It was a slider, 1-1.
He would have fallen behind 2-0, but Eloy expanded that zone.
By the way, the home run ball Yoan Moncada hit yesterday goes to a 39-year season ticket holder from Park Forest. Kevin Van Hoodegem gets the home run ball.
Translated in English is yippee.
All that time scripting your ad-libs always works. 2 balls and a strike on Eloy Jimenez, who, I mean, not only is he hitting the ball hard, but he's hitting it away from people. He's got 4 multi-hit games in his last 5 games as it stands right now.
You really can't defend him any which way, and that's why the infield is playing him pretty much straight away. The outfield, a step to right center field. He's going to hit it away from the defense if Boyd continues with breaking balls, because that he's going to pull. He'll probably go the other way with a fastball if that's what Boyd goes to.
Let's see. Two-two. It was a high fastball, and he struck him out.
Most of that at bat, he stayed out of the strike zone. He was able to subdue Eloy by not throwing him any strikes. Boyd in his backyard has a Rapsodo machine, which for those of you that don't know what it is, it measures the spin on all of your pitches. So he constantly is monitoring everything that comes out of his hand, but so far there have been very few answers.
Foul ball back and right, strike one to Encarnacion. I mean, so many pitchers are doing that nowadays, whether they do it with a group like Driveline Baseball up in Washington, or they do it at home with their own Rapsodo or the other equipment. Do you have your own Rapsodo?
I tried to, but the spinning has not been good.
0-1. It's inside, a ball and a strike.
I do, however, wish I would have had one during the time I pitched, because especially with a curveball, I mean, knowing your arm angle and knowing you're not getting the proper spin on it would allow you to correct something much more quickly than just trial and error.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pitching coach saying that looks good, that doesn't look good, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. Or you tinkering on your own.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You have to feel how it's coming out of your hand, and then you shorten up your stride. If it's not breaking well, always you shorten up your stride. You get over the top of it again until you get it back. But this quantifies everything, especially spin on your fastball. I mean, that's a big one also that people don't think about, because they think about rotation on sliders, especially on curveballs. They don't think about the spin on a fastball, which is essential for carry. The more carry you get, the longer it stays up, the late life you get upstairs, and that's backward spin on your fastball.
In the dirt, slider, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Encarnacion. A laborious 22 pitch first inning for Matthew Boyd. And for a Tiger bullpen that has been pretty well taxed over the course of this 5-game losing streak, the prospects of coming in early are fairly substantial. In the dirt again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. We got Luis Robert next. Sox have 6 batters up. If you just joined in, you were about, I don't know, 10 minutes late for the back-to-back home runs. We promise we'll show them again. Three balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, wide of third and foul.
I'd like to see Luis come up this inning. I think he's in line for a pretty good night. Let's see if Edwin can keep it alive.
Three and 2. Fouled off. Came with a fastball.
Looked like that fastball beat Edwin. I mean, it was a late swing, seemingly taking it right out of Romine's glove to keep the at bat alive.
Three and 2. Line drive, foul, third base side.
Ball boy. But that was so hard hit that, you know, that was hard. Granted, it was hard hit, but, you know,
you can't be given an error on that.
Well, it's one of those plays. It's early in the game. Maybe he wasn't loose yet.
Three balls, 2 strikes on Encarnacion. He's going to see an 9th pitch here. And he clips it foul again, so it will be a 10th pitch in the sequence.
And a minimum of 28 this first inning. Juan Gardenhire certainly does not want to have to go to the bullpen early. Matthew Boyd is looking in his hat. Maybe there's some answers in there.
You ever have answers in your hat?
Not yet.
You've given up hats.
Oh, I have a couple of choice fedoras sitting around the house.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Abreu at second, 2 out. He took ball 4, and Encarnacion works a walk, and the Sox will bring up Luis Robert.
Anderson looking on to see perhaps if there's something that he can say, but Rick Anderson's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of pitchers, and that's only the second time this year that Encarnacion has drawn a walk, paving the way for Luis Robert.
Wave and a miss on a slider off the first pitch. How many fastballs do you think he sees in this sequence?
Well, that was the best slider he's thrown tonight. First pitch swings. Yeah, he's going to do it a lot.
Oh, 1. It's a fastball, but it's way upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think if he gives him a hittable fastball, it will be a mistake. I think he wants to get him out on anything but a fastball. That's why he showed him one upstairs, eye high.
Slider away, 1 and 2. Busted him in, struck him out. 3 sliders and a fastball. And that will do it, but the Sox strike first. Tim Anderson way out of here to center field. 1 more for you. Yoan Apoblast, 2-0 Sox. They come in droves. Just beyond field, we thank you for joining us as the Sox have a 2-0 lead on a couple of home runs tonight. And Jonathan Schoop leads off the second inning to take ball 1. Gio Gonzalez, 2 strikeouts and a ground out in the first inning. The 34-year-old left-hander for the Sox facing Schoop. As we mentioned, the Little League World Series hero back in the day. He got himself a save for Curacao when he was pitching for that team, and he was on the same team that year as Jurickson Profar, who you may remember as the great prospect for the Rangers. Check swing, no go, and also a lesser-known pitcher, but a guy who made the major leagues as well, Chiron Martis, pitched with the Nationals for a while. All 3 of them were on the same Little League World Series team.
I would say it's a pretty good team.
Into center field, the first base runner for Detroit tonight is a Jonathan Schoop single. We got news and notes for you from around Major League Baseball. Steve, you've been looking through the headlines in baseball, and we all have, as the Yankees have won 9 straight games against the Red Sox. Ruiz, a home run in his first at bat for the Dodgers. They keep having that happen. And then Zach Wheeler, 7 innings against the Mets. Steve?
Yes, take a look at the back foot. You see he still has the ball in his hand. Look at where the foot is. Now, here's the thing. Some of my friends who pitched told me that what you do sometimes on just a fastball called is you sneak up a touch in front of the rubber, and then you get another 6 inches on your fastball. Now, Hawk is looking on tonight, and as a hitter, he knows that if you get another 6 inches on your fastball and you're not ready for it, it's going to go by you. That is not a legal pitch, but a lot of pitchers get away with it. those nefarious fellows that they are, will do that on occasion. So because the umpires don't see that all that often, Zach Wheeler got away with that. However, with the ball still in your hand, your foot has to be somewhat in contact with the pitching rubber. When it's not, well, occasionally you have a problem. That time apparently he didn't, and he is a wonderful pitcher, but that's not a good one for him.
Steve Stone, private eye. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I like news, notes, and investigative reporting.
We can do that. Pretty good hook. 75 miles an hour. You can see the downward rotation as opposed to his slider. And no chance at all for Candelario. So now we're seeing Cameron Maybin. We didn't see him in Detroit at all, and when healthy, still a pretty decent player, and one of the leaders, by the way, in the clubhouse. So they listen to him. He's been around a long time and gives a lot of advice to their young outfielders.
Rookie year was 2007 for Cameron Maybin, who's back from the quad injury that had him on the shelf from July the 30th to August the 14th. "14-year major leaguer Cameron Maybin. He's been a Marlin and a Padre, a Tiger twice, Angel, Astro, Marlin twice, Mariner, Yankee, Brave."
Yeah, one of the things that really stopped him during his career, because he had all the skills, was injuries. He's had a bunch of them over the course of his career.
He made his major league debut this very day 13 years ago. It was a Tiger-Yankee game and a 6-1 final score for New York. Andy Pettitte got the win. And there you see the trade between the Marlins and Tigers, including Dontrelle Willis. Andrew Miller in there as well.
Andrew Miller was a starter at that point, became just a great reliever. And of course, Miguel Cabrera is still there.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gio goes with the changeup. He's got 4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3.
He established that straight change early, and the motion is really good. Maybin over the top. That's what you're looking for. You see the grip. It comes with spin. Sometimes it moves away from the right-handers. That one stayed inside, but it was not the location. It was the velocity and the delivery that fooled Maybin.
Ball one downstairs to Austin Romine.
He's been a huge comeback story. I mean, he's been wonderful behind the plate. He's hitting the baseball like never before. You see those numbers. Those are rarefied air numbers for Romine, but whatever he found, the Tigers will take it.
Up the alleyway it goes. Robert treks all the way over to cut it off and keeps it runners at first and third. So Romine has himself a single, but no RBIs. Scope has to stop at third.
Romine continues to hit the ball on the button. This is out away. That's very good coverage. If you're pulling off or opening the left side, you're not going to be able to get to that ball. Stay right with it. Drove it in the gap. And that leaves it to a guy who can really hit, and the only thing they're worried about with Paredes is can he play third base defensively in the major leagues. But they love his bat.
Name is spelled Isaac, but it's pronounced Isaac Paredes. Double-A Erie Seawolves in 2019, making his major league debut.
Pretty good numbers in Double-A. And you would tell by that stance and what he does with his front leg, he probably is jammable. A lot of major league pitchers are going to test that out. If he can't get the hands out, he's going to get jammed a lot. Watch the front foot. He dives at the plate. Now, if he has the ability not to dive that drastically, he'll be able to handle the ball in. But unless his hands are astonishingly quick, some of the harder throwers in this game are going to be able to get in there.
to short. TA got him. Inning over. 0 still up there.
He doesn't get a whole lot into this swing because 2 pitches in a row, he's jammed inside. And even at 91, he's not getting a good piece of the ball that's not on the sweet spot. It turns into a little force play. And so that's something that he's going to have to adjust to. He is very strong. He's going to probably be able to hit. But that's one of the soft spots major league pitchers are going to find.
And Gio Gonzalez did right there to close out a 2-hit Tiger inning. And the Sox will swing it again after back-to-back home runs to lead off the game for the Sox. TA and Moncada, and Nomar Mazara is up. Adam Engel went on the injured list today, and according to Sox general manager Rick Hahn in his pre-series media discussion, Adam Engel, there's some contact tracing in progress. Adam Engel has not tested positive for COVID-19, but he may have been around somebody who had, so there's contact tracing going on.
Well, we're really hoping that he doesn't have it, nor does anybody else, for the simple reason that this season is getting to be a whole lot of fun. And anything that interferes with that is problematic, not only for the White Sox, but for the league.
There's strike 3 and 1 gone. I mean, it's a good sign precautionary wise that you pull the player, whoever it might be, and we wish the best to Adam, certainly. But that's part of the protocols, is if you have been around somebody who may have had it, you get pulled and then you handle it from there. 1 down for Danny Mendick. And a foul ball right hand side for strike 1.
They lay off that low breaking ball from Boyd. He's going to give him hittable fastballs. But now the spin is a lot tighter.
Ooh, Danny gets the benefit of a borderline pitch. 2-1. Yeah, Boyd likes to live in mid to high range in terms of fastballs. He goes with a breaking ball there, and it's fouled away by Mendick.
Right now for a bit, because the lights have not taken over yet and twilight is upon us, it looks like it's a big advantage for anything spinning for a pitcher.
Is that what your friends told you?
Well, I love to pitch in twilight. And I remember when the Angels had Nolan Ryan and they had 5 o'clock games and nobody could see it till the 9th.
That had to have been great fun.
Well, not that he needed any advantage anyway, but I mean, they expressly started some of his starts at 5 o'clock. Hitters were not happy with that.
Three, 2. He got him on the inside corner, so Boyd has 1 ball in play, 5 strikeouts, a walk, and 2 home runs. Baseball in 2020 personified. Your 2020 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. Faster mortgages, faster results, faster way home. Visit rate.com today.
Hitters will tell you if they hit a fastball out, they look breaking ball on the first pitch.
Let's see. Tim's usually good at hitting the breaking stuff, but certainly not that breaking stuff.
He laid off. That was pretty good, but he got that slider.
Slider on the outside corner, 1-1. Well, look, multiple leadoff home runs against the same pitcher in 1 year. Remember Yoan Moncada against Jacob Junis of the Royals 2 years ago. Tim Anderson against Matthew Boyd, and he'll be the all-time leadoff hitter against Boyd in these AL Central games.
Well, now you'd think he was going to see another one of those sliders low and in. And you're right, Tim. If the ball's in the strike zone, he is a really good breaking ball hitter. Let's see how he adjusts to this.
Fouled off right-hand side. That was part of the improvement from Tim last year that helped him to that batting title, is his ability to hit breaking balls.
Well, he got his pitch. That one was down in the zone and didn't bite inside, but he just fouled it back.
1-2. In the air, right-hand side, and twisting toward the corner, and foul off the net. And boy, that's going to be a long run for Cameron Maybin. I mean, you talk about a ricochet. That ball went sliding down the net like it was a water slide. One, two. Inside, and Tim kicks his foot up out of the way. How did that not hit him?
I don't know. He does have quick feet. He was a terrific basketball player in his day. And we've seen a lot of guys get hit on the foot in the early going. And it's not recommended for longevity this year.
Went around him. Down the right field line again. And off the wall. Beautifully played on the carom. He's a quick learn.
By the way, this at bat is taking on the feeling of the 10-pitch at bat he had in Detroit. The 10th pitch, a rolling breaking ball, wound up out of the park in left center field. This is going to be a fastball. He'll probably try to keep it in.
It was in. It was way in, and it's 3-2. So what's your pleasure here, Mr. Pitcher?
I think Tim's going to look at a roller. Let's see if he gets one in the zone. We'll see what Romine wants. It's going to be a slider.
Into right field, well hit. Maybin back at the wall. Tim did it again. Tim Anderson, the bane of Matthew Boyd's existence. It's 3-0 Sox.
So Tim's now hit 4, and he's driven in 4. And a prolonged at bat ends with a rolling breaking ball. Ends out of the ballpark. 4th time he's had a multi-homer game. Our Ford home run replay, and Tim with just a masterful at bat. He fought off pitch after pitch, got the slider that he wanted, and took it out, and he silences an overwhelming crowd of cutouts here at Guaranteed Rate Field.
What Tim's saying there is, you keep sleeping on me. And
yeah, you can't sleep on a guy who led the league in hitting.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you would think that people would hear the clamor coming from his bat.
But, you know, I said it early in the year, and people couldn't understand what I was trying to say with Tim Anderson when I said he's going to make a decision on hitting home runs.
On the ground, infield single, Yoan safe at first.
What I said about Tim was he's going to decide if he's going to be a home run hitter. He has the ability to hit 25 plus home runs a year in a regular season, 25 to 30 home runs. He can do that. Those of you who remember the Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg, he won the most valuable player, hitting 19 triples and 19 home runs. And then he was convinced that he had enough power to be a home run hitter. And he took a pitch or two in every at bat and tried to hit it out of the park. You don't win batting titles that way. You just win championships that way. And Tim's got that kind of ability.
Yeah, to your point, to put some numbers along with that, coming into this game, Tim's average, and yeah, it's 12 games, right? But his average was .333. His slugging percentage was .583 compared to .508 from last year. That's a pretty substantial jump early in the year. And the 2 home runs today will prop that up pretty well before the night's over.
It's really an amazing start. Also, what's amazing for Boyd is he might not want to pitch against the Sox too often anymore.
Well, again, not only has Tim seen everything in the past, but it was a long at bat to lead to the second home run again. I mean, Boyd just doesn't have an answer right now.
He couldn't have had that same at bat as a young hitter. Because one of those pitches he would have either struck out on or most likely put it in play. He was able to foul them off until he got one that he really liked.
That's the point that I think people forget sometimes, is that it's not the strikeout that's the problem necessarily. It's contact out of the strike zone or contact the pitcher wants you to have.
Putting a pitcher's pitch in play is one of the ways you have a low batting average. Fouling it off till you get something you can really handle is how you win batting championships.
And even further beyond that, doing that most of the time is how you end up with a good batting average. Doing it even more of the time is how you end up with both a good batting average and slugging percentage, because you're then forcing an even better pitch to hit than the good pitch to hit that you used to get. 3-1 to Grandal. That's upstairs. It's ball 4, and the Sox continue to roll on in the second inning.
Look, this is a 4-game series, and the one thing Ron Gardenhire was hoping for was a long outing out of Boyd. He's at the 60 pitch mark. Anderson coming to the mound to talk with him. So far, nobody up in the bullpen. There's no way that Gardy wants to go to the pen this early, but he might not have much of a choice. He can't let this one get out of hand. You got the 2 youngsters coming next. You got Tariq Skubal going tomorrow night, a hard-throwing left-hander, and then their prize, young right-hander, #1 draft pick, 1-1 in the draft, the first pick in the first round, Casey Mize out of Auburn. He goes Wednesday. So with 2 young pitchers going, and you never know how long you're going to let them go or how much you can get from them, he wanted a long outing out of Boyd, and it doesn't appear he's going to get it.
Well, to your point about Skubal, if in fact they know he's not going to go very long tomorrow, Boyd's just going to have to ride this thing out today.
Well, it's still, look, it's only 3-0. It is very early in this one, but it can get out of hand in a hurry if Jose can run into one.
First pitch, swing and a miss by Abreu, who reached on an error in the first inning against the shortstop Castro. One ball, one strike to Jose.
Yeah, the Sox didn't make Jose a lieutenant. That's just a pine tar slash on his left shoulder.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to mention the epaulets
on
the uniform.
He's not a lieutenant yet. If he hits one here, they might think about it.
As Adrian Cronauer once asked, what does 3 up and 3 down mean to you?
Pretty good. I like
the
that.
End of an inning.
What a movie.
The Jimmy John's Freaky Fresh Take. Hard hit leaders in the American League. The top 2 are White Sox batters. 95 miles an hour plus, that line of demarcation when you really start to see slugging percentage, batting average rise, making the hard hit line. Third base side, that's foul.
There's another guy that's going to be up there in the hard hit baseballs, but it just depends on how many games he plays at night. And that's the man you're looking at, Yoan Moncada. For whatever reason this year, when he plays at night, he is much better, hits the ball much harder. He's 2 for 2. And as you can see, day games, 200, night games, 294. That was coming in. He had 2 for 2 with a home run. It gets even better.
YM in the PM. Fouled back just below our booth. 65 pitches through an inning in 2/3. That is an astronomical number.
Yes, it is. And nobody yet throwing, but they're starting to stir a bit. They're stretching in the bullpen, but guys are walking around.
Not a tiger was stirring.
They got their bungee cords. They got lots of things.
In case they want to tie up some garbage cans. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. How about this? Matthew Boyd has 6 strikeouts. How about this? Tim Anderson has 2 home runs. 1 to center, 1 to right. Today, and he already has 10 swings and misses in this game, which is a big number through 2 innings. And you see the curveball, the changeup have been working very well.
He really is mixing everything well, and what he did was he established the straight change early. So when you see a guy twice in a very short period of time, this is his second start against the Tigers, you have to adjust. He's a veteran. He knows he has to give him a different look, and that look was an established straight change.
He's 1 swing and miss shy of his season high so far. Those other outings when he had 10 or more swings and misses, he was 70 plus pitches. So he's got about 36 pitches to even that up with that first game and then go beyond it. There's a check swing and no go for the speedy Victor Reyes.
And look, despite the fact that there's been a lot of guys on base, a lot of things happening, there's been 3 home runs. Sox are only up 3-0, and Gio really has to bear down.
Tim backing up, nearly got handcuffed. He launches, and it's not in time. That's a really tough play. Tim got shoved into the corner and had to try and uncork a strong throw.
For him, he would have wanted it on either side, but it came right in the middle of his body, and because it did, he had no chance to turn his body. It was a 1-hop rocket, and Tim tries the best he can. It's a very accurate throw, but Reyes runs too well. Good effort, but it's a base hit.
Jacoby Jones, top of the card once again, takes ball number 1. Remember, the Tigers came into that last series against the Sox 5th best in slugging percentage in baseball. They've dropped now to 9th during this 5-game losing streak. Over the mound, Gio lets Moncada handle it, and he's got out number 1. That's Reyes on to second base with 1 out.
Yuan with a 3-run lead figured he's going to get the sure out. It's bang bang. You might have got a play at second base. You might have, but you don't want to open the door for a big inning, so he took the out at first base.
Especially where you are in the order. You got Castro, the 2-hitter, but then it's Miguel Cabrera, Jonathan Scope, and Candelario in 3, 4, 5.
Castro swung it pretty well against this in Detroit. So normally he's not an easy out.
Foul ball for strike 1.
Had a chance to talk to Al Avila today. He is the general manager of these Tigers. He's talking about his 2 young pitchers going the next couple of days, and the fact that losing Goodrum for them is not a real good thing, especially when Goodrum gets to hit from the right side, because he is a huge factor as a right-hand hitter.
Throw to second is late. Yeah, you can play him a couple places. I know he's a shortstop this year, and they need him at shortstop, but he's turned into a very serviceable guy. I mean, one of the young pieces the Tigers like.
I would think, and you never really know, but because of his splits and everything around what he does, he would be really good on a contending team as a swingman.
There's a swing and a miss from Gio Gonzalez on Castro.
That was a really good breaking ball. Castro last year hit over 300 at AAA. Got in 30 games with these Tigers.
Just off the plate on a breaking ball, tried to nip that corner. Nice block by Grandal, moving with the pitch to knock it down.
He did a good job. He came out to smother it. And Castro decided not to get involved in this. Watch Castro. He literally sprints out of the box, not wanting to get involved with it. And a nice job to his left. Yasmani did a great job of angling the body, keeping the elbows in, making sure on the carom it goes right in front, and no advancement from second base by Reyes.
He got another swing and a miss for strike 3.
Another changeup again. That's the different look. That's what a veteran can do who has a full arsenal. You can go to pitches you didn't show him last time, and when you show it to him again, it works pretty well. Good change, good motion, good strikeout.
Strike 1 to Miguel Cabrera.
Cabrera is just a wonderful hitter. He's been a wonderful hitter for a long time. That last swing was a swing from a great hitter who knows that there's a pitcher who has his number. Doesn't mean the rest of it bat will go like that, but he was late on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He was looking off speed.
Off speed again. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hitters have a tendency to tell you what they're looking for. And being late on a less than overpowering fastball tells you that he's sitting off speed.
This is BABIP. Batting average on balls in play, and Miguel Cabrera down at 184. Matt Olson at 140. An unfortunate start to his season. One. A little bit down. Another changeup. 2 balls and a strike.
Playing Cabrera a couple steps to right center field. Straight away every place else. And Mendick way back on the grass because he knows Cabrera can't run.
That's just foul. Wide of third. It hopped just left of the bag at the last moment.
The difference in 2 swings. This is 90 miles an hour, but he's looking for a fastball. Just misses a double. The first pitch at 90, he's late. So Cabrera, one of the great guess hitters in all of baseball, has guessed this entire at bat and was right on that one. Fortunately, it went left of the line.
Back-to-back MVP years for Miguel Cabrera, 2012, 2013. Two and 2. Stopped by Grandal. 3 balls, 2 strikes. According to Stats Inc., Matthew Boyd is the first pitcher ever to allow back-to-back home runs to start 2 different games against the same opponent in a career.
Let alone a week.
Throw to second. Oh, they got him. Beautifully done. Gio cuts down Reyes. He was way off the bag. He was past the county line. I mean, look at this. Not even close.
Tim Anderson, you see what he does here? He moves up, but before he actually went to the bag, he moved to his left. Gio Gonzalez saw that Tim had walked to a spot where he could beat Reyes to the bag, and you get out of the inning without throwing to a very dangerous hitter. That's just a great play by a young veteran and an older veteran coordinating to make a play at second.
We see it all the time. I mean, the advancement of Tim Anderson as a baseball player, as a hitter, as a human being. I mean, he feels like in a lot of ways he's unstoppable at points. And I don't mean to say that in an egotistical way by any stretch of the imagination. I simply mean he feels like he's going to go out to the field and he's going to beat you.
That's the greatest thing that happened. Now watch Tim. He's standing there. Everything's going fine, but I'm going to mosey to my left because I want to get closer to the bag. I'm going to stay to my left, keep moving to my left, and eventually I'm going to sprint to the bag and be able to beat Reyes. And he couldn't have done that as a young player. Jason, to your point, what I really like about his maturity is that he realizes now he can beat you with his bat. He knew that. Now he can beat you with his legs. He knew that. But now he's beating you with his glove and with his smarts. And that has stardom written all over it.
Strikeout for Jimenez, one gone. Look, that's to say nothing about what Tim Anderson does off the field and in the community in Chicago. And he and his wife Bria and his family have done so much for so many young people around the Chicago area and beyond. And the level of inspiration he provides for young people who literally want to play the game of baseball because they saw Tim Anderson play the game of baseball the way he has. I mean, you talk about growing the game of baseball. It takes an ambassador like that to create love of the game in people, young people who might not have had it otherwise.
But we talked about it a couple of years ago, certainly, and it is coming true. He has been and is becoming more and more every day the face of this franchise.
Popped up first base side and two down. Encarnacion out to first and Candelario. On Matthew Boyd, by the way, he has thrown under 10 pitches for 2 outs, which is an absolute shocker because his pitch total in the first 2 innings tonight is the largest first 2 inning pitch total for any pitcher in Major League Baseball this season.
He's also fanned 7. I mean, only 1 out did he not strike out, and that usually adds to huge pitch totals. Sox are not a patient group. I mean, we talked about the configuration of this lineup. It's going to strike out between 10 and 12 times a night. But they're going to do some big damage in between that, and that's how they're going to have to win games.
And the home run ball is a major tool in Major League Baseball. We saw it with the Twins and Yankees vying to set the Major League record in home runs last year, and then they both ended up to the playoffs. But you have to hit home runs in order to win this year. You can do more to help yourself win more. This year, I should say, this current baseball.
Well, right now, Luis just shouldn't see any strikes because he's not swinging at him.
And there it is, strike 3. That will do it. Boyd has struck out 8. The Sox have a 3-0 lead after 3. GMC, we are professional grade, and we'll get you the question in a moment as Miguel Cabrera takes ball number 1. Here's your question. Number of home runs the Sox hit in a row in the 5th yesterday, multiplied by the number of times the Sox have done it as a franchise, minus the letters and the last name of the Sox player with the most career home run involved, plus his total career Major League home runs. Hope you took a picture.
Yeah, but that's not hard. Tonight it's not hard.
His total career home runs?
Yeah, you just have to stay with it.
The third part is like an essay question. You have to have a little blue book and you turn it in on Twitter.
I have to recuse myself then.
That was the reason you recused yourself. 2-1 on Cabrera. And he takes downstairs 3 balls and a strike. Miguel Cabrera had a bat in his hand when the pickoff of Reyes happened to end the 3rd.
You got to be really careful with a fastball here. That's actually the one thing he's looking for.
He lines it to left field and down for a base hit.
Yeah, that's it. That's what he was looking for to hold the bat. He finally got it. But you fall behind him, and he's just too good a hitter. I mean, even though the legs are not near what they once were, you throw a 3-1 fastball, he's probably going to hit it hard. He did, and he did. Nice conversation with a couple of guys who can really play.
Jose and Miguel, a lot of admiration over there at first. And there's strike number 1 to Jonathan Schoop.
Here's the ideal double play situation.
Strike 2.
Mendick playing up the middle. Everybody else pretty much straight away.
Tipped foul. So you want the double play. How you throwing Schoop here?
It's still 0-2. You can eliminate the double play by burying a breaking ball into dirt. Probably get a strikeout, but you know, remembering what he did the first time up, a face high fastball was the key. This is going to be the change.
Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Schoop was a good player when he was with Baltimore, was a good player last year with the Twins, and the Tigers got him to add a little power and a lot of stability in that infield.
I'll tell you what, to your point about the ground ball, he has his highest ground ball rate this year that he's had since his rookie year 2013. He is willing to give you a ground ball this season as he takes inside a fastball. 2-2 from Gio Gonzalez.
He's missed with a change. He's missed with a fastball. Let's see if Yasmani goes with that slider again.
Ripped to left field and a base hit for Schoop. It was a fastball.
Yeah, he went with a fastball, and Schoop swung it so well the first time up that he rifled this one to left. It's out over the plate, and he didn't miss it. So 2 up, 2 on. And still an inviting double play target in Candelario, who doesn't run very well.
No, but he doesn't give you as many ground balls as Schoop does historically, at least. But the strikeout has been an issue. He's now struck out in 8 straight games, including the second inning strikeout. But this is second time through the order. Wave and a miss, strike 1.
60 pitches for Gio so far. He's given up 5 singles. That pickoff play getting out of last inning was absolutely brilliant.
Well, and especially as we were talking about, coming through the order a second time, which has a tax with it this year and every year, and then the third time through more dangerous. But instead of facing Miguel Cabrera with a runner on, you let him lead off single and do whatever he does. Oh, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Candelario continues to struggle to make contact, and 1 down.
Good solid breaking ball this time in a perfect spot.
To my eye, the curveball's got more sharp drop tonight for Gio Gonzalez.
It's quicker than it's been. You're right. I mean, it is breaking more sharply. The spin is tighter. He's feeling pretty good with it. But still in all, it's still a 3-1 game. So the tying run is still coming to bat.
Downstairs, ball 1 to Cameron Maybin.
It's actually a lot. The game is a lot closer than it feels because of the staggering amount of pitches for Boyd, who did get through the third inning pretty easily. That probably lengthened his outing out somewhat.
Well, there's a tendency to feel up like you're up 19 when you're basking in the glow of back-to-back home runs 2 days in a row.
Well, this is where short seasons mitigate against the starting pitcher and great length. Because Ricky Renteria is not going to be near as patient right now with Gio as he normally would be if you're, say, 22 games into a full season and that ball pops out of the glove, but no advancement.
Two and one. Maben takes ball 3. It's ball 4. It's the first walk of the ball game for Detroit.
Follow our Sox insider Adam Hogue at NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
I wasn't going to sing anyway tonight.
I know. So. That's why I beat you to the punch, because you hummed it last time. Wasn't going to give you the opportunity again. And Don Cooper going to the mound for the opportunity to talk to Gio. Normally that means somebody up in the pen. Right now, nobody. And he's giving him a tip on how to subdue Romine, who hit a bullet in the second inning.
So Rackley out to break up the meeting. Sox are up 3-0 thanks to 3 solo home runs. Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, and then TA again. Foul ball, strike 1. His dad, Kevin, hit the first grand slam in this ballpark's history. We've gotten to know the family very well over the years, with Andrew in summer camp with the Sox. Big time baseball family. It's upstairs, ball and a strike.
Double play ground ball would look awfully good, and to accomplish that you probably want to stay away from Romine, get him to roll over one. Looks like he's very pull conscious these days.
He takes a called strike, 1-2.
There's a break. Romine knew it wasn't in the zone, and a good break as Chris Conroy stays with the breaking ball and calls it a strike. Yeah, that one was inside a touch. Nicely handled by Yasmani, by the way, making it look a whole lot better than it was.
1-2 on the ground, but foul third base side.
Mendick up the middle there, anticipating Romine hitting a ground ball. And if he does, to the left side.
1-2. It's there. Strike 3. A curveball locked him up.
Best pitch of the night. Romine gives up on it. It splits the plate. And that is a big out, number 2.
Romine disappointed. He'll put his gear back on, and now Paredes, the rookie third baseman who Gio jammed last time. Strike one.
Gio can get out of this. It's a huge lift to the ball club.
Paredes says hang on. Scope doesn't move from second base. Rondell's made a couple of nice stops behind the plate on balls in the dirt so far tonight.
He's just digging him out, and no advancement so far. He's looking up at the hands of Paredes to see if he's getting any closer to the plate.
Change up 1-2.
Last year he almost walked as much as he struck out, which for a young hitter is very impressive.
Two and two. A lot of long counts tonight across the board. In total, 15 combined strikeouts, and we've not played 3.5.
Let's see if he's going to go to the same hook he threw to Romine. See what Yasmani has in mind.
It was a changeup.
Yeah, straight change out of the zone and nothing doing.
Three and two. In the air, over shortstop and down. Paredes has his first major league hit. And the Tigers get a couple of runs. It is 3-2.
He put himself in a position where he showed him how he got him out the first time and tried to go back there again. After jamming him the first time up at 3-2, he goes back to the fastball and tries to jam him with it, but this time nothing doing. Doesn't get a whole lot of it, but gets enough of it to drop it over Tim's head.
First major league hit for Paredes. Drives in two. And now Victor Reyes, who got a hit last time, takes a strike. So the tying run at third in Cameron Maybin. Oh, 0-2. Gio comes back with the curveball. Steve Cishek getting loose in the Sox bullpen. Two strikes to Reyes. He struck him out, and the Sox maintain the lead. 8 strikeouts for Gio Gonzalez and a 3-2 score. When the Sox play the Tigers, Tim Anderson goes deep. It wasn't a very quiet first inning, Tim. We're very sorry. A lot of thunder. Back-to-back home runs. Anderson and Moncada. TA one more time. Breaking ball. Off she went. Fly away home. Sox took a 3-0 lead. Poetry slam in the dugout. And Gio Gonzalez has 8 strikeouts in 4 innings. His best outing as a starting pitcher for the Sox. And the Sox will hit with Mazara, Mendick, and Anderson coming up. I mean, you wonder what can you do to top back-to-back home runs. There's not a whole lot you can do to top it, but you can certainly give people a thrill right off the jump. And that's what the Sox did tonight with 2 home runs in a row. So there have been 10 teams to hit 4 straight home runs, 10 separate groups to do that. Here's an oddity from the desk of Chris Kamka. It is Kamka-esque. 3 times a member of the Drew family has been involved. JD twice, Steven once in 4 straight home runs.
Wow. Glad Nancy Drew didn't play, or that'd been another one.
Would have been a real mystery. The 1964 Twins did it in the 11th inning.
No Drews there. Nary a Drew to be seen.
Mazzara fouls it away.
By the way, 10 teams, but 2 teams have done it twice, the Nationals and our Sox. So that's, I mean, it's amazing enough that it's been done 10 times in the history of our sport. 10 times, and 2 teams have done it twice. Pretty amazing.
And one of the teams to do it twice is the beloved hometown Chicago White Sox. First team to do it was the 1961 Braves, including the other Frank Thomas, Frank Menechino. Off the plate, 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And we will open up the Sox Vault. It is presented by Feldco, and the Sox Vault has 08 and 2020 in it. It's a deep vault. Watch them fly. Thome, Konerko, Ramirez, and Uribe, and then the 4 from yesterday as well. Twice within 12 years. Something that's only been done 8 other times.
That was my first year here.
Is that right?
Yeah. Hawk was doing the game, I believe. 2008. Playoff year.
One ball, one strike. So who has the most career home runs as a foursome? The answer is those Braves from 1961. Henry Aaron obviously buoys that list, but the Sox were second, the 2008 White Sox at 1,300 plus, as Danny gives this a ride down the right field side toward the corner, and that's a fair ball and caught as Cameron Maybin hauls it in for out number 2.
Well, your first feeling, if you're Matthew Boyd, is just to point to first base and say, go ahead. Take my chances with you at first. However, Moncada's 2 for 2 with a home run behind him.
Say you're on the mound, you've given up 2 home runs. What do you do?
I don't think you throw him a hittable strike, especially with a fastball. I think you probably try to get him to swing at something out of the zone. He didn't on the first pitch.
He wants a 3rd home run.
Yeah, he didn't throw him anything hittable there. That was up and out of the zone, so Tim could not check it up. So 2 pitches, 2 balls out of the zone. Here comes a change.
Rolled over to 3rd. Paredes on the move, has out number 3. That's 7 in a row retired by Boyd. Sox lead 3-2 going to the 5th. Special Sox math winner. Back to back. It's very fitting. Steve-O White Sox did it again. 4 home runs in the 5th yesterday. Times twice as a franchise. 8 minus 5 letters in Jim Thome's last name. He had the most home runs of that group of 4, and then his 612 home runs. 615 is the correct answer. Steve-O White Sox has to top his video with his brick and his wonderful sentimental message. He's got to do it again tomorrow.
Very nice. Bullpen up and going in case Gio has some problems, and he is now behind 2-0. Steve Cishek loosening in the pen. Gio's on a short leash.
That's there for a strike. It's 2-1 on Jacoby Jones, who says, was it?
Yeah, wasn't all that happy with it, but Gio certainly will take it.
Foul back 2-2 on Jacoby Jones.
One more of those very good curveballs, the one that mystified Reyes. This is probably going to be it.
Fastball 3-2. He struck him out swinging, and one gone. Jim Thome, 612 home runs. Landon Thome, 2 home runs. A grand slam for young Landon Thome, whose sister Lila has a wonderful voice, by the way, sang the anthem a couple of years ago. But Landon's got a couple of home runs, and I'm guessing they're not the last.
I'm guessing he's got more speed than Jim.
Oh, come on.
Oh, was that a cheap shot? Sorry about that. Is Jim around?
He might be watching.
If he's around, I'm happy for
He is.
COVID protocol because he can't get in the booth.
There he
Hi,
is.
Jim.
He didn't hear you. He's smiling.
Handsome guy.
Okay.
Strong. Loved him. What a wonderful man.
0-2 on Castro. Let's go back to the All-Star game last year in Cleveland. Landon came up as a pinch hitter. Jim watching as Landon in the celebrity softball game during All-Star week gets himself a base hit. And that wasn't even supposed to happen. He gets an RBI as well. That wasn't supposed to happen. They put him in, and Jim was so pumped for young Landon with an RBI single.
He punched it through a drawn-in infield.
Got the job done.
He did.
Got to run home.
He did indeed. Thomes are no stranger to the run batted in.
Saw the tweet from Andrea, and so happy for that family. A great baseball group, and just a great group of people as well. And forever a part of the White Sox family after Jim and his heroics. 2008 you were talking about.
Yeah, but Jim as a guy was even better than Jim as a player. I was at a store in Detroit. He brought all the young guys to that store and told them to pick out the nicest shirt they could find, and he paid for all of them, all the young White Sox players. And Jim, knowing that they probably didn't have the greatest clothes around at that stage of their career, made sure they at least had a wonderful shirt. Was not a very inexpensive store, by the way.
Oh no, he's as generous can be.
And of course I had a couple of gift certificates, otherwise I wouldn't have been in there. But other than that, great thing by Jim Thome.
Well, you pay a quarter for silver dollar pancakes, so
I tried to look like a young player, but it didn't work. No free shirt. Yeah, it was kind of sad, but it was a very nice store.
Story wound down to a very happy place.
It was a sad ending.
It's upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Willie Castro.
Yeah, I tried to get that Jim Thome's a wonderful guy, and it kind of devolved into a dark place.
Well, it devolved into shirt shopping. And that'll do it. 3rd strikeout for Willie Castro in the ball game, and Gio has 10 strikeouts.
That's a change. He's been using it pretty well all night. He skirts the bottom part of the zone and comes away with double figures in strikeouts. Now just outguess the big man one time and most likely turn it over to the pen at 95 or more pitches. Again, behind on the fastball. That means at least for the first pitch he wasn't looking for it.
Yeah, this has been an interesting standoff so far today. Cabrera has actually had 4 trips to the plate against Gio Gonzalez because he saw 5 pitches in the at-bat with the pickoff of Reyes in the 3rd inning. So Cabrera's been afforded the chance to see substantially more pitches than his teammates.
That last pitch was a good call by Yasmani because knowing Cabrera was late, he went back to the fastball, but it was up and out of the zone. The interesting thing is if he doesn't get Cabrera, Schoop has hit 2 rockets against Gio. He represents a go-ahead run. So Gio wants to make it happen here with the changeup.
In the dirt, 3 balls and a strike, and he knew that he misfired it right as he released. He came off the mound in frustration.
And now in a real bad spot to a really good hitter.
In a really close game at 3-2 in the 5th.
If he doesn't get Cabrera, Ricky has a tough decision on his hands.
He didn't, and he does. It's a 2-out walk.
I think the decision's been made, but Ricky looked at the first 2 at bats to Jonathan Schoop, and he was right on both and hit 2 bullets. I think Gio in his heart of hearts knew if he didn't get Cabrera, he probably wasn't going to be around, but we'll see what Ricky has to say. That's going to be it. So Schoop will face Cishek, and we'll step out, and we'll be back. He hit tonight, knocking at the door of 100 pitches, but he gives way to Steve Cishek because the man coming up has hurt him a couple of different times. Now it's time for our Lakeside Bank call to the pen. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And Steve Cishek comes on. The ERA is up there. See the rest of the numbers. He inherits Cabrera at first base. He's going to be hard pressed to score on a 2-base hit. What Steve has to do is make sure when he drops down from the side, which he does, he can't leave it inside. Schoop is swinging it too well right now.
First pitch, ball 1. Up the middle, center field, base hit. Schoop is swinging it really well. To your point, 3 for 3.
Yeah, you really have to, if you're going to drop down side him, you got to keep it away from him. He didn't, and Schoop took it right back up the middle. So it's no cheapies in his 3 for 3. You see it splits the plate, and the tying run moves to second base. 109 miles an hour off the bat. Now you're looking at Candelario. He is a better right-hand hitter than a left-hand hitter, and that's, as a left-hand hitter, how he faces Cishek.
Yeah, you can't play matchups at this point. Like, you have to, essentially, when you bring in a pitcher, you have to bring in a pitcher for 3. You have to assume 3 batters. And it's a different way to look at it for every manager around the league. And so you weigh your matchups and you say, well, if this one guy does beat us, then what can the other guy do? And then you look down for the 3rd possible situation. So it's a different way to manage a bullpen for sure this year. One and one for Candelario. To short, Tim, a leaping grab, and he's got a double-double. Bottom 5, Sox by a run. Cishek wriggles free.
New pitcher. Gone is Boyd, on is Rony Garcia. On for the 5th time. His ERA right around 6.5. Given up 8 hits in 8 1/3. You can see right-handers have really hurt him, which is somewhat surprising for a right-handed pitcher, and he has allowed a robust 3 home runs in 8 1/3 innings.
Moncada got himself an infield single last time and a home run in the first. Part of that back-to-back home runs for TA and Yoan to start the ball game. The lead is held up so far at 3-2 on TA's last home run. Gio Gonzalez got to 10 strikeouts in 4 2/3. He is just the 2nd Sox pitcher all time to have 10 strikeouts in fewer than 5 innings pitched. First one was Carlos Rodon a couple of years ago.
That's pretty amazing. Gio had good stuff tonight, but you knew when he didn't get Cabrera he wasn't going to face Schoop. And I think Gio knew it too. He was really unhappy, but all things considered, this was a step forward. He had very nice stuff tonight.
3-2, winds in there for strike 3, a changeup and a 1 out. Hey, a sneak peek on White Sox postgame live presented by Subaru. Yeah, we're mid-game, but we want to check in with Ozzie and Chuck. Brought to you by Subaru. Chuck. Chuck, thank you. Ozzie, thank you. We look forward to the postgame as always from you two. As Yasmani Grandal stands in at 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout.
Here's a change, and this probably is the difference between Rony against a left-hander and a right-hander. Because when a right-hander gets lefties out, it's because of a good straight change. That one might have been good, but it was so wide that no attempt at all by Yasmani.
High in the air left-hand side. Medium left, Victor Reyes squeezes out number 2.
Hey, White Sox fans, Xfinity XFi gives you Wi-Fi security with a warning track, and you need a warning track.
I do.
On a smarter, more secure home Wi-Fi network, if it's connected, it's protected. Yes.
Some days life needs a warning track. Wall shows up out of the blue.
Just before you know it, boom, it's there.
When you least expect it. 2 down for Jose Abreu.
So without throwing too many changeups to right-handers, Jose should look for an off-speed pitch.
Or a ball that nearly hits him.
That, I think, appeared to be his attempt at a slider, but didn't do much sliding. Almost hit Jose in the elbow.
It almost went off the map of Menard's Pitchcast. By the way, we need a new cartographer.
It was up there.
Third base well hit, but Paredes is right there across the diamond and not scooped out. Second time Abreu on a ball on the infield is safe. Paredes threw it basically directly into the ground, and 1 on for the Sox.
Well, Paredes, who has a couple driven in, is getting the whole major league experience. He got a base hit, he's got 2 driven in, and now he has his first error. He's got all kinds of time. And that's the most difficult play. The long hop. It didn't skip off the grass. It hits the dirt on the long hop, and Candelario, who is a third baseman by trade, didn't handle it. Medicino had a talk with Eloy, and usually Eloy is a quick enough study. He was probably telling him, He's starting to drift with his hands and moving out on his front side too much. Let's see if he waits back and does some damage.
Down the right field line, that's a base hit. He let it travel a little bit and has himself a single to right. Abreu to third. Runners at the corners, 2 down.
A couple of points on the BA to Frank Medicino as he takes it the opposite way. Head straight down on it, waits back, doesn't go out to get it, and a line drive rocket to right field.
Eloy Jimenez opposite field hits coming into tonight. He is now number 3 in all of the American League with that 11th. LeMahieu on the shelf for the Yankees. Yandy Diaz, the former Cleveland Indian, in second place in the AL. And now Edwin, whose last home run was his last hit, and it came at Comerica Park against the Tigers.
He's just hoping against hope that Garcia falls behind.
One and one. Foul ball went over the Nick Aronson season ticket area. We can't have our season ticket holders, so we might as well mention them every once in a while, right? To third, Paredes. One more chance. He's going to go the short way. It's a short Paredes. To the 6th. Still got a drum major. Sox by 1. I don't know what's better, the home run sound or the scream from the dugout. Hashtag Sox Files. Who is this? Attended the same university as Brian Kenny, shares a birthday with Martin Luther King Jr., and has an equal number of pitching and managerial wins. Wow.
Got to be Ron Gardner. Cody Hoyer comes in the game on for the 7th time.
Thank you.
He's doing it pretty well. 3.68 ERA. 9 strikeouts and 7 1/3, only 1 walk.
Your guesses are somehow better when you recuse yourself.
Thank you.
They can play Tiger Files on the Detroit broadcast. Here's ball 1 to Maybin. Steve Cishek, a third of an inning, 1 hit, 1 out, and since he finished the inning, he does not have to complete the 3 full batters. So Hoyer gets the clean inning, and Maybin, who's yet to put a ball in play, takes a high sinker, 2-0. Three balls, no strikes on Cameron Maybin. That's a strike, got the zone on a sinker, 3-1.
Outfield shading toward right and right center field. They don't think that Maybin's going to be able to pull him.
Maybin discards the bat. It's a leadoff walk.
Tomorrow, the White Sox and Tigers square off for game 2 of this 4-game set. Coverage starts at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago and streaming on the My Teams app.
Let's check in on Minnesota and Kansas City, shall we? Okay.
Certainly.
Thank you. A little delayed.
We're on time delay.
Oh, we need to sync our time codes like it's replay time. 2-0 Minnesota, top of the 6th. It's Bubic on the mound for Kansas City, and a host of pitchers for the Minnesota Twins. The starter, Matt Whistler, only went 2. Smeltzer, 2 2/3. And Tyler Clippard, the oft-used Tyler Clippard, currently throwing for the Twins, who are up 1 game on Cleveland in the division. And the saga continues to develop in that Indians clubhouse after the report from Jeff Passan today about the rift, where one of the veterans said he would opt out if Clevenger and Plesac remained in that clubhouse. So they were eventually optioned to the taxi squad, the affiliate, the satellite location. And so there's a lot going on in that Cleveland clubhouse.
Well, not a good time for it, as Cleveland, a very good team, looks like they have the Twins in their sights. They certainly can't afford to lose anybody. But if it's a veteran who's one of the mainstays of that team, like a Santana type, a Lindor type, either of those two guys, if they don't stay with that ball club, it gets awfully difficult. And yet it's 2 terrific pitchers. I'm not sure what they were thinking about, but obviously not too much.
Yeah, this is actually, you know, like, it's a serious situation. There's a reason there aren't fans in the stands.
That's it.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Roman. We wish you were here. I mean, we all certainly do. And it's not the same hearing your cheers from seasons ago. The crowd sound you hear in the ballpark, by the way, is directly from a major league game that was imported into the video game MLB The Show. So there are cheers from games, as there's a throw to first by Grandal. A little tapper by Roman puts Maben at second base. Test your luck during every White Sox game this season with the 50-50 raffle Sox Split presented by Wintrust, on sale now until the end of the 7th inning. Current jackpot valued at $674, and you can get your Split the Pot tickets at whitesox.com/Sox Split, valid for Illinois residents 18 and over, all the way through the end of the 7th inning. And now they're checking on Grandal behind the plate.
Well, I'm wondering if it was either a backswing or the ball came up and got him. Not sure exactly, but
maybe on the throw.
It's a good question, and whatever it is, it appears he's coming off. So this is not good news. James McCann looks like he's going to get a whole lot more play as Yasmani disappears down the ramp. They're checking on him, and we'll take a couple of looks.
All right, so watch each step of this.
Well, look, he came out with the idea that he was going to throw to second base, and maybe it is something arm related, because he comes out thinking about second, then all of a sudden just turns and actually loops it to first, which is uncharacteristic. He usually gets something on his throw. So, I mean, the only thing you're thinking about is maybe somehow it was throwing arm involved. And look, he had an at bat in the 5th inning, and maybe, just maybe, he might have heard it on a swing.
So Zach Collins is going to come in.
I think he's just there for the warm up.
Oh, that very well could be.
Yeah, I think that James is probably getting loose and getting ready. He's got the gear on, and now talking it over with Don Cooper about how they've been working Paredes, only because he hasn't seen him, and this is his first major league game. So he's talking it over. He's giving him what scouting report they had. He wouldn't naturally have it himself because he wasn't catching tonight. And so with that scouting report, McCann is going to come in the game. He wants to certainly warm his arm up. Now, because it's an injury, just like a pitcher, he gets to loosen up also. He can pretty much get as loose as he wants, take as many throws as he wants. Wisely, Cody Hoyer is throwing during this, which is a good thing, because if he's standing around, he loses his command. So everybody doing what they should do, and McCann's going to be allowed to warm up, and that's what you want to make sure you do. You want to warm up thoroughly, take your time. There's no rush. Make sure when you say you're ready to go, your arm is fully loosened up and you are indeed ready.
Tim Anderson has had a big night so far. A couple of solo home runs helping the Sox to this 3-2 lead. We've seen enough of his teammates go down with injuries already this year.
Yeah, this has been, you hope, you knew this year was going to be tough in a lot of different ways. And one of the things I said at the beginning was you have to have some luck. It always helps to have luck in a normal season, but in a situation that we're in now, you just hope that when you absorb your injuries, they're not to key players. And the Sox have had many injuries to key players. Also, you hope that there's no positives on your team. And those are the two big things going into this year that will likely determine who gets to the postseason and who succeeds in the postseason.
This is where the catching depth the Sox have specifically.
Yep.
That position itself leads you to feel certainly. Oh, you don't. Obviously, you'd like Grandal on your roster like that. That there's a purpose for him being here, certainly in a big way. But you have James McCann as the guy who's ready to slide in, and you know how comfortable pitchers are with him, and how comfortable the Sox are with his bat after his All-Star year last year.
Well, right now, both the belt of Cody Hoyer and his left side is flying open.
Down the left field line, an arching foul for strike one on Paredes.
That time he got a fastball. It was middle in, and he put a charge into it.
Yeah, he's got some strength. I mean, this is his first time above Double-A. For any expanded length of time. We saw his numbers from Double-A Erie last year. Breaking ball away from Cody Hoyer. 2 balls and a strike on Paredes. Tigers got 2 runs with 2 out in the 4th on a 2-run single from Paredes. Sox with 3 solo homers tonight. Wave and a miss. He tornadoed him around, and that slider is 2-2. Paredes, I think, it looked like he was walking back on what he might have thought was strike 3.
No,
I thought for a second.
Not yet. He'll walk back on this one if it's another slider.
He took a big step away from the plate. Just wanded that ball to third. Moncada is there. He looked uncomfortable all at bat. And 2 down for Cody Hoyer in the 6th.
It was another slider. I mean, he looks like a different hitter on that, and he was able to put the bat on it but get absolutely nothing into the swing. So there are 2 outs. Tying run at second.
And Victor Reyes, who had that hit to shortstop that ate up Tim Anderson all the way like 5-6 steps on the outfield grass. Very difficult play. And there's ball number 1 to Reyes.
Victor Reyes might be a touch better right-hand hitter, but he has a bit more power from the side. He's hitting from right now, the left side.
Oh, golf shot to right field, and Mazara is there to retire the side. Leadoff walk, no harm done. Still 3-2 Sox. The long ball to a lead tonight. 21 home runs at home in 12 games, 13 and 11 games on the road, which is an oddity because typically when you do that, when you hit more home runs, you're going to have a better chance of winning the ball game. But that has not happened for the Sox here at home.
Roney hung his first slider, and now he's going with a fastball away.
You're on a first name basis with Roney?
Yeah. I got to think that Luis is going to have a decent at bat.
On 1-1, checked his swing and a strike, a fastball.
Problem is when you're swinging at balls and taking strikes, it's usually not a good at bat. But let's see what this one brings.
Good take.
Nice job of taking that. Yeah, Sands didn't come forward.
Two and two from Roney. Swinging a high fly ball left center field. Way back there. It is out of here. Bring him home. You said good at bat. How about a great at bat? Solo shot Luis Robert, and it's 4-2.
Look, he hung the first slider to him, and then he just hung another one. And Luis took the pitch before so very well that he finally got one he could handle, took it out of the ballpark, and there you go. Ford home run replay. This is basically what they call a cement mixer. Means it's a slider that just hangs there like a piñata, and like a piñata, you take it out of the ballpark, and now it's a 2-run lead.
Sox get some energy. I'm skeptical you've ever actually hit a piñata because you don't take it out of a ballpark.
No, I'll tell you what, we had a bar mitzvah for my dog Larry when he turned 13. We had a piñata, and Larry couldn't quite get to it, being a dog and all, so I did hit it, and then the biscuits and everything else just spilled all over. It was quite a day. It looked like Luis Roberts' home run, actually.
You had dog treats in a piñata?
Well, it was for Larry. I mean, what is he going to have? A popsicle?
Still don't think you're really fully understanding of what normally a piñata does and holds. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, don't forget, it's very rare to have a bar mitzvah, but
it's true.
Through all odds, he made it to 13, which for a very big Rhodesian Ridgeback is quite an accomplishment.
Hey, great call by you on the Robert at bat, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't say that in surprised fashion because usually it happens.
Well, I told the boys in the truck first that this was going to be the at bat.
Yeah.
And then I figured, eventually maybe make a mistake, old Roney, and he did.
So you promoed your prediction to the truck, who usually gets you to promo your promos. 2-2. That's off the plate. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It was in excess of 105 miles an hour. I mean, for Luis Robert, his fly balls look like routine fly balls. Then you look at the exit velocity and you realize it's really elite exit velocity.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mazara is out number 1 here in the 6th. Here's Danny Mendick. Sox a 4-2 lead on 4 solo home runs. They didn't come in order, so that's a bit of a letdown compared to yesterday. What an exciting thing to have happen yesterday with 4 straight home runs. 10th time in Major League history we've seen it. Twice the Sox have done it.
And if you did see it, obviously you weren't at the park. If you saw it on television, it's such a rarity.
Danny, a laser down the left field line. That is gone, a clothesline. Just a buzzsaw to left field. And it's 5-2.
5 solo home runs. And Roney arrived just in time to see 2 of them. This one, our Ford home run replay, I mean, this is a laser. This one hardly gets off the ground. Danny Mendick, his first home run, first run driven in, and couldn't come at a better time. Boy, Ford is happy today. Lots of pub.
And there it sits. We've had home runs of all shapes and sizes, but this inning, I mean, Luis Robert hit a ball that there should have been a pot of gold at the end of, and then Danny Mendick would have gone through most brick walls.
Yeah, that one, Danny's was a shot. Only question was, would it go over or through the fence? It was 108 miles an hour exit velocity.
Zach Birdie getting loose in the bullpen. Sox are going to have to tag team the bullpen tonight. Cishek for a third of an inning. Hoyer for 1 inning. And Birdie getting loose. You see Tim has homered in the first and second. Every stat recently has included Juan Uribe.
It is pretty amazing, isn't it?
First pitcher to strike out 10 in 3 innings. Juan Uribe. Ricochet to second base. And 2 down.
Juan Uribe also has a place in my heart because the first time I did a White Sox game on television was with Hawk Harrelson. And DJ was family was with child. They were going to have one. And Uribe was in the on deck circle. It was an extra inning game. And I had him shoot Uribe in the on deck circle. And I said, the game ends there with Uribe. And Hawk said, is that what you think? I said, no, that's what's going to happen. And Juan hit his first, only, I think, walk-off home run.
And the legend was set in stone.
That was a while ago, though. You know,
who would remember?
Yeah, it was in the dead ball era.
Not tonight. The dead ball era is gone to the ether. Luis Robert goes deep, then Danny Mendick hits a laser over the left field wall. Home runs galore, 5-2. Google home runs all over the place. This is from Luis Robert, 37 degrees. I mean, that is a tall home run at 105.6 off the bat. Still had some great power behind it. Then Danny Mendick, don't blink, you'll miss it.
That wasn't tall.
It was not.
But did barely make it over.
Hey, Gio Gonzalez, you look at his strikeouts, 6 on the curveball, 4 on the changeup. You think he was working the bottom of the zone, Steve?
Well, the changeup was really good, and he broke that out as a way to give him a different look from the last time they saw him. It worked very well. He went 4 2/3 innings, turned it over to Cishek, to Hoyer, and now to Zach Birdie.
Yeah, the bullpen's been tag team champions of the world for the most part this year.
On for the 4th time. ERA an even 3. Good, solid stuff. And you really look, it's going to take some time. These are young pitchers, but Hoyer and Birdie both have back of the bullpen stuff. The question is, will they be able to harness it? That won't be answered until they get a lot more experience. But this is a kind of a year when the Sox can afford to do that, and it's a must to do that.
Well, when you have the luxury of a 28-man roster, you can play both for now and the future at the same time.
That's certainly what you have to do, because you're playing through a lot of things you don't have to play through. One is an accelerated summer training after a curtailed spring training and lots of pitching injuries.
So many pitching injuries. I mean, you cringe every day when you open up the news and the headlines around Major League Baseball to see who else is going to go down in terms of top flight pitchers. Three balls and a strike from Birdie, and it's fouled back, a fastball.
I mean, I was watching Max Scherzer the other day. He's come back over some leg issues. He doesn't look the same. I mean, I'm hoping he's fine because he's one of the best in the business. But everybody has a little something they're dealing with. Even the guys that are healthy are dealing with little nicks that other times they might take some time off. They can't really afford to if they can go to the field. Not just pitchers, I'm talking about all fielders.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 up the ladder, not his tempo on a fastball, and 1 down.
Zach has a very big and very lively fastball. It's 99 upstairs. you got only two choices. Either you lay off or you walk back. That time, Jacoby walked back.
One down, Willie Castro. Willie strike out. He has 3 times tonight.
Doesn't want to see 98 moving away. I do know that.
When you say back of the bullpen stuff, what are you looking for to classify it as such?
Well, velocity is one thing, and late life is something else, and that comes with backspin. Birdie's got a good slider to go with it. Hoyer's got very good stuff. But you have to have, if you're going to be a back end of the bullpen guy, you have to have two major league pitches that you can command at will and get out guys in tough situations. But there's something else you have to have, and you can't really predict it. And after the pitch, I'll share that with you, young Jason.
How about a strikeout first?
Yeah, that's good. The thing is, you don't know if these guys are going to be impervious to pressure. That will determine if they can be a back-end pitcher. There's a lot of guys with back-end bullpen stuff that can pitch the 7th and 8th. They cannot pitch the 9th. It's just the history of the game is littered with guys like that. You don't really know until you've had the opportunity. So you can look at a really good setup man, and you can't know if he's going to be the guy that you can hand the ball at the end and say, go get him, and nothing phases him. Look, Alex Colomé doesn't have the greatest stuff in the world, but that cutter is good enough, and also he is literally impervious to pressure. You look at his face, you can't tell what's going on, and so consequently, he's a very good back end of the bullpen guy. He does not have the arm of either Hoyer or Birdie. All they need is experience, and time will tell if they get it in those situations. That slider right there is unhittable, and if he keeps it there along with 99 upstairs, nobody's going to touch him. I mean, Cabrera, who's a great hitter, was mystified by that pitch. He takes some time going, and I'm telling you, he commented to McCann, I know it for a fact. He said, where did this guy come from?
A confidence builder for you as a pitcher. See that happening.
By the way, he moved infinitesimally closer to the plate.
You throw him a fastball inside?
Well, I wait till he sets up again, but I'm sure James McCann saw it, and I'm not sure if Zach Birdie did, but as soon as that slider threw it by him, he moved closer. Now he's back off where he was before.
Another breaking ball he snapped off.
And now face-high fastball. If Miguel Cabrera can get upstairs on a face-high fastball, well, it's going to be a slider again, the third in the at-bat.
On 1-2. Little nubber. Birdie's got it, and he's going to give Jose a little run. Farewell, Tigers. Zach Birdie, lethal in the 7th.
At-bat, as the inning was ended, Cabrera comes off the field shaking his head, and then he talks with Cameron Maybin, and Maybin says, what's he have? And Cabrera probably says, you're not going to like this next at bat, pal.
Cabrera, I think, might have been saying, how many sliders are you going to throw me in a row? Like, can you throw me a fastball, please?
Kyle Funkhauser comes in the ballgame on for the 6th time. His ERA is robust.
Well, I love when hitters do that, when they say, like, why don't you throw me a fastball?
Yeah,
well, that's the point.
Right, the object is to get you out, but Cabrera was, I think, really surprised that a guy that throws 99 has got a snapping slider. The last one he hit off the end of the bat like a pool cue.
Big inning for Louisville baseball, as we mentioned last time. Funkhauser was in, but you got Birdie and Funkhauser, Louisville pitchers, throwing for each side.
Now tell me that that's not a great law firm. The law firm of Birdie and Funkhauser. I'm telling you, keep it in the back of your mind.
We do torts. We do constitutional law. And we do some pro bono work. 1 ball, 1 strike from Funkhauser. You didn't like his mustache last time. I kind of like the baseball mustache.
It certainly covers his lip.
You are full of compliments tonight, aren't you? Second base and Schoop.
T-Mobile is your ticket to the game with America's largest 5G network.
That's the shortest read in American history.
I love those promos. The other one, I mean, yeah, compared to Marquette Bank, that's like War and Peace. This is easy.
First of all, we love Marquette Bank. They've been a sponsor for a couple years. They're fantastic.
Nothing against Marquette Bank.
Second of all, have you ever even begun to read War and Peace?
Yes.
How far did you get?
First sentence, T-Mobile is your ticket. That's pretty much where I got on that one.
Strike 1 on Abreu, who saw a pretty tight slider there from Funkhauser to start him. I thought you were going to say maybe like the soldiers had just started lining up and then you stopped reading the book.
Now, I actually like the peace part. Or not so much.
Since when do you enjoy peace? That's a new feature.
Well, yeah, I mean, granted, things were up for grabs before the game today, but everything settled down. Now it's tranquility abounding.
0-2 to Abreu. And it's tipped foul.
See, if I start now and tell you that this game is brought to you by Marquette Bank,
yeah,
it's one sentence I have less to read.
You could walk to Wisconsin before that's over. 0-2. Jam shot first base side. Oh, it trickles on through a pond skipper into right field. Here we go.
This game is once again brought to you by Marquette Bank. For lo these 75 years, Marquette Bank has improved the lives of neighbors, families, and business owners. They're a modern neighborhood bank with online banking, mobile banking, and digital home financing. Pause. You get 40,000 free ATMs nationwide, and they're the only bank with fun rewards. So rediscover neighborhood banking at emarquettebank.com/75.
Total running time, Lawrence of Arabia. Look, the reason it's long is because Marquette Bank has a lot of stuff to offer you.
And when we used to travel in days of yore, when we traveled, I would always pass a Marquette Bank.
Yep.
63rd, I believe.
Why are you looking at me? You passed it all the time.
I think it was Joe Grube I had then, pulling him behind the car.
2 strikes from Funkhauser to Eloy Jimenez.
His fastball runs real well into right-handers.
He got good stuff. I mean,
yeah, he does.
Funkhauser didn't have the final year he expected at Louisville. He was a very, very highly thought of prospect, went back into the draft, dropped a couple rounds, but the stuff has always been exceptional.
Well, the fastball that he threw to Eloy running in on his hands was pretty good, and he handcuffed Abreu, who did a great job with an inside-out swing of just easing it through the right side.
To third, Paredes and Schoop. Schoop and Candelario. And that will do it. Double play. 5-2. Steve Stone from Marquette Bank. The American League. Sox at 11-11 in the hunt for a wild card spot, and right now would have one of those wild card spots behind the Orioles, the resurgent Orioles, 1.5 up on the Sox, and the Twins and Indians, top 2 in the AL Central, top 2 in each division, make the playoffs this year.
So in the game within a game, this is a pretty important appearance for Evan Marshall. Evan Marshall most of last year was pretty much untouchable. Last time out, he had a tough go of it. So he wants to come back in this one. Got a 3-run lead. He's got the 8th inning. On for the 11th time. Still, the ERA is very good at 2.89, but last time he didn't have the kind of stuff that we've associated with Evan Marshall. This becomes then through the heart of the order, 4, 5, and 6. A good way to get back on track.
He'll face Jonathan Scope first. And a bouncing ball to third. Moncada on a short hop, mishandles.
You can't really wait back on the long hop, but unfortunately this hits the heel of the glove instead of the pocket, and then you still have a chance. However, it's too far away from him, so it'll most likely go as a base hit. We'll have to see how it's scored, and it's scored E5.
So the game within the game within the game. Evan Marshall comes in, gets a ground ball, but the runner ends up on, which changes his fortunes early in the inning.
Well, he's happy getting the soft contact and making the pitch he wanted to make.
Strike one to Candelario.
Pretty much you can tell when Evan is on because he'll be able to thread the needle with his fastball inside corner to the left-hand hitter. For right-hand pitchers, mostly that's the toughest thing to do.
On the ground. Who's going to pivot? Nobody home because of the shift. That's a tough one to deal with.
Yeah, unfortunately, when it's hit in that perfect spot, Moncada can't get there in time. Tim just has to take the lead runner, and there's not going to be a double play. Tim had to go to his left, and because of that, Moncada couldn't get there, and so what is a tailor-made two now is only one, and once again, Evan Marshall now has faced two hitters. Two hitters hit his pitches and got the result he wanted, but there's still a man at first base.
Maben might be smiling because Zach Birdie isn't in the game after the scouting report from Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, I think he's ecstatic about that. Doesn't mean he's going to have success. It just means that he's not going to have his hairs singed off. As you get 99 upstairs, it's a lot different than sinkers inside.
Yeah, it'll put the old brain on the fritz.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive stuff from Zach tonight.
Ground ball foul, 1-1 on Maben. Twins are up on the Royals 3-0 tonight. Now 4-0 as Nelson Cruz just homered off of Jake Newberry. So 4-0 bottom 7 in that AL Central ball game.
Well, that is really unusual.
Nelson Cruz homering.
Yes.
You over it?
And the Orioles losing, by the way. They lost to the Blue Jays 7-2 to drop to 12-10. Still pretty good for them.
Good for the city of Buffalo, by the way, getting a major league team just for this year as a placeholder for Toronto. And obviously we feel for Toronto not having their team this year, but the city of Buffalo has been pining for the possibility of Major League Baseball over the years, building that stadium as a possible expansion franchise in downtown Buffalo. And the way they follow the Sabres there and the Bills, that is a great sports town. On the ground wide to third and foul.
Taking a look at Maben's approach tonight, for whatever reason, he's really become pull conscious. So it'll be a nice time to stay away with something. We'll see what James has in mind. It's going to be a straight change. Let's see if he can get Maben swinging at the motion.
He did. Strike three.
Maben didn't read it, and he was fooled with it. Probably wasn't the perfect location. It certainly was good enough. You see the spin, the release, and amazingly enough, and you know, it wasn't the spot that Evan Marshall wanted because he swung below the ball. And on good changeups, hitters almost without exception swing over the ball.
Two down and Romine. It's inside for ball one. Romine tapped out to Yasmani Grandal in the at-bat that ended Grandal's night a couple of innings ago. Yasmani out with lower back stiffness. He is day-to-day officially. And James McCann has come in to catch.
That was a good breaking ball last time. The best Evans thrown in a couple of starts, couple of outings.
Moncada at third, snaps it up, fires a missile. And that'll do it. Bottom 8. Sox by 3, all on solo homers.
Try that 8 times. Grandview buys homes as is, and there is a cornucopia of long balls.
How about trying it 5 times?
Pretty entertaining tonight, actually.
Tim, it's not going to be quiet when the home runs get hit like this. I'm sorry. I know you want to keep it down, but Danny's a little loud tonight. That's the last one. 5-2 Sox with the lead, and a lot of 1,000-watt smiles on that bench. Kyle Funkhauser to Edwin Encarnacion. He takes strike 1. Edwin's been so consistent over the last decade as he gets out of the way here. You would imagine that at some point soon those numbers are going to take an upward turn for him with his 100 home runs leading off innings. I mean, he's right around the top 50 all time in Major League home runs.
Pretty impressive. He's had really a wonderful career for a guy who came up with Cincinnati. At that point, not a prolific home run hitter, but as he's moved along, he's gotten just better and better.
Number 52 all time in home runs, Edwin Encarnacion to be precise. After his Major League debut, the Sox World Series year, June 24th that season. 416 career home runs. Well, let's see if that changes. To left field, to the corner, and that's down in the corner, just short of being number 417. It's a double for Encarnacion.
He caught that one right off the end of the bat, it appeared, and he knew. I mean, home run hitters know when it leaves the bat if it's out. He didn't think that one was out because I got to feel he felt some vibration. So he's going to leave the game with a 2-base hit. We'll watch it again. There's a slider right off the end of the bat. And although he was hoping, no win tonight, and it goes as a double. A nice effort by Reyes, but he comes up short, and then the ball really bounds away.
Steve, that's not a fair ball.
He might have touched it in fair territory, however.
He may have touched it in fair. If it wasn't touched, it's not a fair ball because it hit the wall in foul territory. Question is, did he deflect it in fair territory? Well, I think it was clean to the wall, but I don't know.
The umps are looking at it now, and we'll try to show it to you again.
This will be a real mess in the scorebook.
It will be. He touches it there.
Yep, you're right.
So
you're right.
I thought he touched it while it was in the field of play, and that's going to stand. Edwin is not going to have to come back out again, I don't believe. It was called by Alex Tosi.
Yeah, just watching it, the replay, we caught the tail end the first time, and it hit the wall in foul territory, but since the glove nicked it in fair territory, it's going to be a double. And thank goodness, because we'd already installed Goins in as a pinch runner, and Encarnacion had the double, and we were going to need like a bucket full of whiteout, and that's tough to clear through security at the ballpark, and there's so much there.
I aspired to whiteout. I had a red double put down, and I do not want to change. I have no whiteout. It is a 2-base hit. Edwin now can relax. His night is done.
You remember, as Goins comes in as the pinch runner, let's take a look at the reaction. Edwin said, yes, we got him. So, on that famous Jose Bautista bat flip home run in the postseason, Ryan Goins scored on that home run. Edwin Encarnacion was the very next batter. They were together in Toronto for that home run. As that is outside and low, ball number 1 to Luis Robert. Well, you called his home run last time.
Let's see how this at bat unfolds.
How does this work? You only feel it sometimes?
Sure, if I felt it all the time, wouldn't be fun.
How does it come to you?
Didn't you see that pigeon that was in the booth before?
Did it have whiteout?
No, I'm still waiting for that. I don't know. It's just one of those things.
I love it. It's downstairs, 3 balls, no strikes.
Might be able to tell you something if I can call it up. I have this, the machine in front of me, and
Your lighted box?
yeah, and I got to see if I can go back into the archives.
Okay. Is it Fast Car by Tracy Chapman?
No, I do play.
3-0. That's in there for a strike. It's 3-1. Steve has more premonitions inside a baseball game than he has songs on his playlist. It's like 3-2 most nights.
Am I wearing you out with the same songs? I added a new one today, by the way.
Congratulations to all of us in the booth.
Iron Man, Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Joe and I both are Iron Men for enduring this. Oh boy, that's a dart to left field. Way back there. It's number 2 of the night for Luis Robert. Bring everybody home. 7-2.
Nice to see a home run that drives in somebody else, gives him the salute as he's coming around, and that's a rocket. Let's watch it again. Our IDOT save play of the game. It's one of those sliders that doesn't slide much, and well, there you go. We saw how the at bat unfolded, and it folded into that one. And that one, exit velocity, had to be real good.
That's a bad man right there with that look he had after he put bat to ball. Oh boy, 116 off the bat.
How about that one? Oof. Yeah.
I don't know that the AL Central is terribly thrilled about all this young talent offensively the Sox have. And yeah, it's been inconsistent this year, but the highs are real high.
So here's the thing, 2 at bats. He swings at pitches that are nowhere near the plate. He looks like literally he just put on a baseball uniform yesterday. Then he comes up 2 more times, gets a couple of mistakes, and shows you why he is one of the best young prospects in all of baseball. Because when he hits them, they stay hit.
Oh. He rearranges seams on baseballs. To left, base hit. 18 times now in Sox history that the Sox have 6 or more home runs in a game. And for a while, it looked like the Sox were going Harry Styles. They were going solo. But finally, a homer with somebody on.
Gets a fastball moving away, and that is going to be it. So Kyle Funkhauser touched up a bit. Looks like he's going to depart this one.
Air fives for everybody. Funkhauser leaves. He'll be going to the clubhouse and not Pamplona. 7-2 Sox bottom 8. You know, this offense is instant offense, but Ozzie is instant laughs right now. He is absolutely rolling. You guys are great in the postgame, so we look forward to it certainly as Detroit goes deeper into the pen.
Our Lakeside Bank call to the pen is Brian Garcia. So a couple of Garcias, the second of which is Brian. On for the 9th time. He's been pretty good. ERA of 2.45.
They still trail the White Sox in specific team area Garcias from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
3 in the outfield, 2 in the bullpen. Do a little better, please. So,
and you asked me how I did it. Well, after Danny Mendick, I will explain to you why in the Twitter war I'm going to hunt you down like a jackal. and why you should be following me. I explained kind of exactly how this works. So I will, as soon as this is over, I'll explain it to you.
So, like, we've been working together for a while now, and sometimes I know exactly where you're headed.
Yeah.
And then other times you call me a jackal.
Well, no, I just said I didn't call you
you're going to hunt me down like a jackal would.
Yes, exactly. There you go. Now you got it.
Thank you for the roadmap. 2-1, Garcia to Mendick. He checked his swing, and he did go 2-2. Two and two for Danny. No, sir. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's a long tease you put together there.
Well, you have to wait for the at bat.
You're the one that made that so. You could have just done it during the at bat.
Nope. You cannot interrupt the Mendick at bat.
Can't beat 8th inning bickering on White Sox baseball. 3-2 from Garcia to Danny Mendick. And a chopper back to the mound. Garcia goes to second to get 1. The pass to first is not there in time. He's safe. And so 1 down in the inning. Danny replaces Nomar Mazara.
So I was asked today how this works, just like you asked me, and this was on Twitter, and I said it's a compilation of many years inside the game. It's not being a star most of the time, so that I had to observe every nuance and variation from the norm. It's extreme insight and ability to see layer upon layer of a game so complex that it mystifies most people. ... Or maybe it's luck.
First things first.
Yes.
This is all real. People need to know that, like, when we get to sit near each other, you'll like write things down that then eventually happen very soon in the game, which make me question my own mortality and whether or not we've been living in an alternate universe that you see and I don't.
I got to tell you, you got 2 good years left, so you know, pack as much as you can into it. Ooh, that wasn't train of thought, huh?
No, this got very serious very quickly. But second of all, did you just do a dramatic reading of your own tweet?
No, it wasn't dramatic at all. It was just kind of what I said today.
You're like Alistair Cook.
I was feeling philosophical today. It was one of those days where you're just sitting around.
That's every day.
I watched a lot of the MLB channel, which is just great. I watch it a lot. I really think Mark DeRosa is outstanding, by the way. That's a great show. So I watched that, and I watch High Heat. I watch Chris Russo. He's entertaining to me, always was. But then, you know, eventually you have to wax philosophically.
That went from dramatic reading of your own tweet to complete critical rundown of MLB Network's programming.
It's good programming. It really is. I mean, you get a chance to see everything. I recommend it. If you haven't discovered it yet, Jason, I recommend that you tune it in every now and then when you go from public radio or whatever. Just look over there.
Public radio?
Yeah, they got baseball and stuff. It's really good.
I do have a WBEZ mug at home. Is that okay?
That's good.
Our friends over at WBEZ.
Absolutely.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Check swing. 2-2. 6 home runs. You know, winning baseball games just brightens everyone's day. It's amazing how it works.
Well, even in the course of a game, you start out. Now, granted, this started out with back-to-back home runs, which was good, but then Detroit took a little of the fun away as they got closer at 3-2, and the game was on the line for a bit. Then suddenly the offense comes back and guys continue to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And, you know, look, the White Sox team is going to aggravate a lot of people because they're going to strike out a lot. They're going to make some mistakes both on the base paths and fielding the ball. But in the end, I think if you pay attention, you're going to see this talent coming together. And when it gets all together, this team is going to be something.
Fouled away. I mean, we've talked about the incremental improvement even at bat tonight for Luis Robert. We've talked about the year-to-year improvement for Tim Anderson, who's not only become a great baseball player, but a tremendous leader in the clubhouse.
Well, think of the team last year. This team is much better than the team last year, and the team next year is going to be much better than the team this year. That's the way rebuilds. That's the way it goes when you have a lot of talent from top to bottom.
3-2. Another foul ball right-hand side. That one nearly got to the 600 level.
It's good food up there, by the way, you know.
But typically when fans can be in the ballpark. Our new and improved 600 level in 2021. We really do hope you're enjoying White Sox baseball. I know it's been an up and down year. Teams at 500, but the talent on this roster is shining through as that ball's cracked to right center field, hooking away, but Jones is there to make the catch.
They happen to be playing him perfectly because Tim hit that ball hard, and normally that would be in the gap, but they're playing him as an off-field hitter, and he hit it right at Jones. Jose Ruiz starts to throw in the bullpen.
Yoan Moncada, who had the second home run of 6 home runs. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. 18 times franchise history, Sox have 6 home runs.
I got to think if this season is played to fruition, they will beat that this year.
More than 6 in a game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Think so.
How about you're right about that prediction and then wrong about the one about me in 2 years?
Well, you know, sometimes tempting fate is really, you know, especially with the ripple in the universe. I mean, who knows? Look, enjoy it while you can. Whatever happens, happens.
At least you said it with a smile. I mean, that does change it. Yes. Foul third base side. And out of play into the cutouts. We need a Stoney cutout over there.
Well, now that I know that even during the rain they remain in place, well, that's a possibility.
Where would you sit if you were a cutout of you?
I would sit about where we're sitting right now, because what I like to see is angles to the baseball. I like to see the routes the outfielders take. I like to see where the infield shifts. I like to see the little nuances, the thing like Tim did, where he starts from his normal position, he moves a few steps to his left, then he gets a phenomenal pickoff play that gets Gio out of the inning where you don't have to face Cabrera. And from where we sit now, you can see everything that happens on the field. It's just a great seat.
I'd prefer it a bit further away, and keep your crystal ball away from me.
Okay.
You creep. 7-2. Luis Robert absolutely hammers one. His second of the night. Everybody loves it. The majesty and excitement of this White Sox offense tonight. A 7-2 lead, 3 outs to get.
Jose Ruiz comes into this. Some very good work from Gio Gonzalez. Steve Cishek got out of a tough inning. Then Hoyer, Birdie, Marshall for 1 each, and now Ruiz to try to nail it down.
One ball, one strike. Six home runs tonight. 5 solo shots, a 2-run homer, 2 of them Luis Robert. Baseball is an uneven game. It tests your patience quite often. As a fan, as a player, as a coach, as a general manager, all of that. And you have to believe even when the signs of belief don't flicker in front of your eyes. And the Sox tonight have shown the potential and then some of what the offense can provide. And we talked about the bullpen in the open, Steve. I mean, another 3 1/3 of 1 hit ball. And the hit came as the first batter the bullpen faced. That was just below your seat, by the way.
Well, just as a way of comparison, because this is a game where you're compared to various people, and Mike Trout's first year. Now, granted, he was 19 years old, but he came from a very good high school program. He was in the first round. 25th player picked, by the way, by the Angels, the second of their back-to-back 24 and 25. So 23 other teams passed on him, which now looks a little unusual, but he had 123 at bats. He hit 4 home runs. They drove in 16. Luis Robert has 84 at bats. He's got a while to go yet. He's hit more home runs and he's within 3 of runs batted in. So who knows if he develops, who knows where he's going. But when I tried to explain to people that his tools are better than Mike Trout's, I didn't say he was a better player. I don't know if he's going to be a better player. Mike Trout is the best player in our game, hands down, no doubt about it. But Luis Robert has those kind of abilities. And though he looks awful at times, you ask the guys who are standing 60 feet 6 inches away from him when you make a mistake what he does with it. And we're just seeing the infancy stages of what could be a very special career.
When he makes contact, as he does, good clean contact, it sounds like there's gunpowder involved.
The greatest part about it is he really doesn't have to make good contact to hit it out. He's that strong and he's got that much bat speed.
I mean, he's a machine.
Yep.
Athletically.
Plus, I love the fact that he truly believes that every ball that goes in the air is his. Then maybe he gives you a chance to catch one every now and then, but it is his until you catch it.
Now look, that's ridiculous timing. Come on, stop it. No, don't be doing that. Pick and roll, Eloy Jimenez.
He looks at him going, wait a second, can I catch a ball every now and then? How am I going to be among the league leaders in putouts if you take everything when it's hit right to me? This is hit to Eloy. I mean, it's his ball. Well, it was his ball. It's not going to be his ball because it's Luis's ball.
When he gave him the look like,
Big smile on Luis's face. And Eloy just stands there going, you did that again. Why do you do that?
Well, that's a perfect shot. That is a great shot by our camera crew. Luis knows exactly what he did. Eloy's still mad.
Yeah. He can't lead the league in putouts if the guy doesn't let him catch the ball.
What's a foreground and background?
Yeah, how do you figure the timing of that, huh?
Did you just foreshadow a ball in the gap that was a lazy fly ball out? How many wishes do you get from your magic lamp? Aladdin got 3.
Yeah, I'm done for tonight. You're okay. You're on your own from now on. Not going to tell you what's going to happen. It ruins the surprise.
0-2. Let's get out of here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hey, that in left center field. Forget about you for 1 second. That is the type of fun that we used to love watching from guys like Elvis Andrus and Adrian Beltre together on the infield.
There was a joy to the game. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. It is when you win. It is when your team is doing well. But these guys are so young and having such a good time that it's a pleasure to watch them because they're having a lot of joy. It helps when you hit 6 home runs and you're winning the game. But still, these guys really enjoy what they're doing. And as a team, they enjoy one another.
Well, in a season where you can't be at the ballpark, these guys put you at the ballpark when you were basically age 8. Sox win tonight 7-2. Ruiz closes out another sterling affair for the bullpen in 4 1/3. 2 base runners plus the error against the bullpen. Fantastic work.
The bullpen has just been great. There's no doubt about it. And Tim Anderson once again led the way. He led off the ball game against Matthew Boyd. Exactly how he led off the ball game against Matthew Boyd less than a week ago in Detroit. You lead off with a home run. That day was followed up by Eloy Jimenez. Today, back-to-back home runs followed up by Yoan Moncada. But either way, the Sox got off to a 2-0 lead. Added to that lead, and then the Tigers started to make it serious. They came back, but the Sox home runs put it away.
This is the team we saw in summer camp. This